Everyone, we're gonna get this exec meeting started. I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 9:34 p.m. But before we begin, I'd like to do a territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional, unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Katzie nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we're currently situated on occupied territory. Next, we'll do the roll call of attendance. I'm going to call on you by your position, and please give us your name, pronouns, and access needs. I'll start with myself. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. He, him pronouns, and all my access needs are met. It looks like our acting VP internal and our acting VP finance aren't here at the moment, so I'll move on to our and VP UAA. Can I get our VP external?
Hi everyone, Ishana, she, her pronouns, access needs, still not feeling too great. But other than that, all good.
Thank you, Ishana. Next, we have our VP equity.
Hi everyone, my name is Hongyan. My pronouns are she, her. All my access needs are met.
Thank you. Next, we have our VP events and student affairs. V.
Oh, hi, my name is Weber. Pronouns he, him, his, and access needs are met. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaibhav. And we'll circle back to the acting VP finance and services. Rasco's just typing. Rasco, do you want to do a quick intro in the chat? Their name is Rasco, he, him pronouns. Awesome, thank you. All right, so we're gonna move on to society staff. I believe we have our temporary operations organizer here.
You here, pronouns she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Awesome, thank you. And then we have our admin assistant.
Good morning, my name is Fanny, pronouns are she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Awesome. We have a number of guests at this meeting, so we'll start off. Ricky, if you want to go first.
Yep, my name is Ricky. He, him pronouns, and access needs are met.
Thank you. Oh, and also, sorry, I missed the access needs for Rasco. The access needs for Rasco is that he does not currently have a mic, so he'll be using the chat. Melanie, do you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Melanie. Pronouns are she, her, hers, and my access needs are met.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have the sus counselor.
Hi, I'm Io. Pronouns are he, him, and all my access needs are met.
Awesome. Thank you, Io. I think that's everyone. So we can move on to the consent agenda, which is empty at the moment. So this is going to be fairly simple. I'm just going to ask, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. And I'm going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing how that's carried, we're going to move on to adoption of the agenda. And the motion reads as follows. Be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I get a mover, please?
VP external.
VP external moves. Can I get a seconder?
EVP events.
Events seconds. Thank you. I'll now take amendments on this agenda. And V, you're first on the list.
Hi, I have two amendments. I'm just gonna copy paste it. Just give me a quick second.
Yep.
So the first one is just to let everybody know, we have a discussion on a club and removal of an exec from that club. And second is appointment of AVP for this year. Just pasting it.
V, do you have it or do you want me to paste it?
No, I just pasted it.
Okay, perfect. Awesome, thank you. So V is moving the motion to add on an in-camera item titled SFSS Club Removal Update, Club Executive Removal Update, pardon me, and another new business item titled Appointment of AVP Events and Student Affairs. Can I get a seconder for that, please?
I will second.
Acting VP Finance seconds. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote, seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom. I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, sorry, Viva, go ahead.
Sorry, this is not on this. I also want to suspend the rules to bring in-camera discussion on the top because Melanie and Ricky have to leave. So
Okay. If you don't mind, I can do that during my amendment if you don't mind.
sure, yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're still just going to seek unanimous consent on these two amendments here that Viva was bringing. Just on that, seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. I'm next on the list, so I have a new business item to amend on titled Research Assistant Contract Extension. To be under new business. Reads as follows. And then I'll also move, since we're still in adoption agenda, we don't need to suspend the rules. We're just going to move sections 12 and 13, titled in-camera and ex-camera above new business. So I'll move that batch of amendments. Can I get a seconder?
PP external.
PP external seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please use the Zoom raise hand function, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. And given that we've moved the agenda around, the new item coming up would be in camera. So motion reads, be it resolved to go in camera for the remainder of the meeting. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
PP external.
PP external on fire. All right. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. Alrighty, everyone. Our next motion is be it resolved to go ex camera. Can I get a mover for that, please?
PP external.
PP external moves. Can I get a seconder?
Events.
Ben seconds. Any discussion on going ex camera? Seeing none, I'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. I'm gonna, if you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. At this point in the meeting, I'm gonna list, and I'm gonna move to suspend the rules and add the following new business item to be considered immediately. I'm going to read it out for accessibility. Whereas a lengthy discussion was had in camera regarding the removal of an SFSS club executive, whereas credible evidence was presented that the club's terms of reference was broken in camera, be it resolved that the executive committee ratify the actions recommended by MSC on December 2nd, 2022 at the executive in-camera session. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please? PP external seconds. Is there any discussion on, well, first of all, suspending the rules? Is there any discussion on suspending the rules here? It will require a 2/3 majority. Seeing none, we're going to take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom, and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay, so now we can consider this motion. I think I need another mover and seconder, so I'll move. Can I get a seconder, please? The external seconds. Okay, so now we can have discussion on the motion itself. Is there any discussion? Again, I will ask any discussion. Please be careful about breaching in camera. We cannot discuss whatever was discussed in camera. I don't see anything. So I think we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. Oh, yes, sorry. Forgot the title. I'm gonna call it ratifying MSc actions discussed in camera, unless someone can think of a better title. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna take that to a vote. We're gonna seek unanimous consent on that. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. All right, so we're gonna go back to our original schedule. We have motion 10.1 executive committee vice chair elections was submitted by myself. And the motion reads as follows. Oh, also, yes, thank you, Ricky and Melanie, for being here.
Thank you.
Whereas thanks. Whereas the previous vice chair of the executive committee is now the chair, be it resolved to appoint X as the vice chair of the executive committee of the year 2022-23 council year. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
Second.
I think that was external. Okay, so this will work the same as our council nominations have. Before we do, I'm going to make a minor amendment. I think it's okay if it's just a friendly amendment. I'm going to change executive committee of the 2022-23 council year to for the 2022-2023 council year. Just little grammatical error. So if everyone's okay with that friendly amendment, we'll just make that in editing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do 3 calls for nominations for whoever wants to be my vice chair for executive committee. You can list in the chat to nominate yourself or any other executive. So first call for nominations. All right, Ishana, go ahead.
I'll nominate myself then, if no one else has interest.
Okay, Ishana has nominated herself. I'm gonna go to the second call for nominations. Third and final call for nominations. All right. Congrats, Ishana. We're gonna amend you, but you win by acclamation. So I'm gonna move to. Let's take a copy of this, please. Can I copy it? Actually, sorry, I should have pasted the motion in the chat anyways for accessibility, but this is the original. Sorry. Oh no, okay. I'm gonna move to amend the be it resolved clause to replace X with Baron. Make sure I'm spelling that right. I am. Okay. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please? Events seconds. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing them, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. So the new motion reads, whereas the previous vice chair of the executive committee is now the chair, be it resolved to appoint Ishana Baran as vice chair of the executive committee for the year 2022-23 council year. Okay, that's bothering me. I gotta fix that. Be resolved. Let's give me a moment. Fix that up. I was just gonna try and do a friendly amendment to fix that one part, but that's a bit mangled. So just give me a moment. The result of appointing Ishana Baran as the vice chair of the executive committee for the 2022-2023 council year. Okay, there we go. If people are still okay with that as a friendly amendment, as it does not change the substance of the motion, are people okay with that? Particularly the seconder, by Bob, if you're okay with that.
Sure, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll take that as a friendly amendment. Is there any other discussion on the amended motion? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Congratulations, Ishana. You are now the vice chair. You have a very high standard to live up to from the previous vice chair, if I do say so myself. But moving on, next we have 10.2, which is the resignation of Associate Vice President Finance and Services. This is submitted by myself and it reads as follows. Let me just put it in the chat. Sorry, my mouse is stuck. There we go. Whereas Aaron Fung has been approved as an Associate Vice President of Finance and Administrative Services on September 16th by a 2/3 majority vote of the Executive Committee, whereas Aaron has tendered his resignation to the AVP Finance, the acting president in writing on November 25th, 2022, whereas there's no clear procedure in replacing and regarding AVP resignations, be it resolved that the Executive Committee accepts Aaron's resignation as AVP VPF effective immediately. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder?
VP external.
VP external seconds. I'm going to list on this. If you guys see the next motion, it seems pretty obvious what's happening here. Aaron kind of signed up to be my AVP and learn from me, and I'm not the VPF anymore, so he's just going to move over to my new position, which is a new title now, Associate President, which is fun. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent. Sorry. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that carries. Next item is AVP appointment for the president, submitted by myself. Whereas under R17 of Council Policies, vice presidents may appoint associate vice presidents to assist in the duties of their respective executive office. Whereas under R17 of Council Policies, nominations for the position of associate vice president shall be ratified subject to approval by the executive committee by a majority vote. Whereas Aaron Fung has been nominated by Abhishek Parmar to be the associate president for the year 2022-23, be it resolved that the executive committee appoint Aaron Fung as associate president until April 30th, 2023. And just, hold on, it's a little bit complicated to paste because it's on 2 pages. There we are. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
VP external.
Thank you, VP external. I explained this last time, but he's just moving over to my portfolio now. And I did get confirmation from both the former president, actually 2 former SFSS presidents, that this was allowed. Okay. I'm just going to seek unanimous consent on this. This doesn't seem controversial. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent to Aaron being my AVP, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. I'll send Aaron my congratulations, and I'm very happy to keep him as my AVP. All right. Next, we have another AVP, man. AVP business is just taking over the agenda. Let me copy that. Put it in the chat. So next new business item is appointment of AVP events and student affairs, and it reads as follows. Whereas Ayula Adagan has been nominated by Vaibhav Aurora to be the Associate Vice President Events and Student Affairs for the fiscal 2022-23 year, be it resolved to appoint Ayula Adagan as the Associate Vice President Events and Student Affairs until April 31st, 2023. Can I get a mover?
Vaibhav, VP events.
VP events moves. Can I get a seconder?
VP equity.
VP equity seconds. Awesome. There we go. Vaibhav, I'm going to offer you a friendly amendment. It's to change April 31st to April 30th, as April 31st does not exist. If you're amenable to that.
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
So, just to be clear, that's be it resolved clause. Will now read like that. Is there any other discussion on this? If you want to say a word or two, you're welcome to. If not, no worries. Okay. We're going to seek unanimous consent on this. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. So congratulations, Io. You are the new AVP Events and Student Affairs, and we wish you the best for your new position. All right. I think we only have one item left under new business, which is, as well, we also have discussion items and all that. But under new business, we have the following motion. It's titled Research Assistant Contract Extension, and it reads as follows. Whereas there is a continued need for assistance in the policy, research, and community affairs and campaigns and mobilization departments. Whereas the research assistance contract concluded on November 24th, 2022, be it resolved to extend the research assistance contract until April 30th, 2023. I'll move that. Can I get a seconder, please?
VP External.
VP External seconds. I'll list that I think the motion is fairly self-explanatory. The whereas clauses kind of explain the need. I think it's a good idea to extend our research assistant. Is there any other discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, that passes. Okay, so this brings us to discussion items, I believe. Yep, and yeah, it's our last item actually. It's titled Spring Meeting Time. And I submitted this. It's again also fairly self-explanatory. I'll be sending out a let us meet either this week or next week. And just fill that out. If you guys are unsure about classes and all that, try to do your best. Perhaps keep those time slots as unavailable until you have that confirmation of whether you're having that class slot, just to make sure we have the best chance of getting a consistent meeting time with as many of us as possible. And then if your slot frees up or we're having trouble meeting quorum, we can always adjust after that. Anyone else want to comment on that? If not, we're going to have a very, very efficient meeting here, barely over an hour. Fanny, yeah, oh, Rascal, go ahead.
Can you perhaps send a let us meet?
Yes, I will, yes.
Okay.
I just answered Fanny's question in the chat. Yes, we did discuss the MSC motion. It was just mostly, as mentioned in the motion itself, was mostly discussed in camera. Anyone else have anything they want to comment before we move to adjournment? Seeing not, I'm going to move us to adjournment. So be it resolved to adjourn this meeting at 10:32 a.m. I'll move. Can I get a seconder?
VP External.
VP External seconds. Is there any discussion? Anyone really, really want to stay here and do nothing all day? Seeing none, nothing. Seems like people do want to, go do whatever else they have to do today. I'm going to seek unanimous consent on this. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please use the raise hand function on Zoom and I'll call on you for your vote. Seeing none, this passes. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at the next exec committee meeting.